Bishop, thank you very much for coming to us from here in Parktown in Johannesburg, where the former President Jacob Zuma is finally expected to appear here. But appear is the detail which has most of the media really worried. Is appearance a guarantee that the President will give testimony? Well, that's yet to be seen.
The Commission appreciates that he is here. I accept that through his lawyers, he has indicated that he has certain reservations about the Commission and that he reserves his rights in appearing before the Commission. The Commission has no difficulty with this and accepts that everyone is entitled to have an opinion about the Commission.
You will recall, Chairperson, that in terms of your rules, the rules of this Commission, 3.3 in particular, one of the rights of the witnesses or implicated people is that they make an election when you tell them that you believe they are implicated. They make an election that I've listened to this, I have read the statements, I do not think I am implicated. And they do so at their peril, of course, because they must accept that you may make an inference. And the former president made that election in respect of all. And this was done in careful consideration of whether or not he had been implicated in the two crimes that this commission is about, fraud and corruption.
I'm Jacob Zuma.
Do you have any objection to taking the prescribed oath?
No.
Do you consider the oath binding on your conscience?
Yes.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing else but the truth? If so, please raise your right hand and say, "So help me God."
So help me God.
Thank you very much. You may be seated.
It is important that we all respect one another, that we must say things we know about other people, not just tell things that we cannot prove. This commission, from my understanding, was really created to have me coming here. And perhaps to find things on me. There has been a drive to remove me from the scene. There are spies that are infiltrated by us in his organization. Whom we want to nurture, that they grow within the structures of the ANC to a point that at some point they will have to lead the ANC. I had to be charged. Before being charged, I was removed as a deputy president of the country. 2005, because I was implicated in the arms deal. Bear in mind that I was not in the national, I was not part of the processes, I was in the province. And it did not make sense to me. Of all the people who dealt with the arms deal, not a single one was ever, or there were ever allegations against. But there were allegations against me. There was information that I'm going to be talked to so that I resign from the leadership and go to Nkandla, and I'll be looked after. Just resign. There was a rumor that I would be given something like 20 million, and I will be maintained. Or if I resigned, this case will then have a way to solve this case. And I was saying to myself, that plan is now being implemented. These people don't know that I know something about the plan, because myself and John Nhlanhla, we did not report it to the entire leadership. It remained in the corridors of intelligence.
That any testimony or questions that the former president answers may implicate you in any way at all?
Implicate me on what? Because truly speaking, what my relationship with Comrade President Zuma as my leader has been a very transparent and conspicuous relationship. So there's no implication that I'm expecting out of these processes.
Mr. Van Rooyen, a lot has been said about how you were personally appointed, some of your advisors who came with you into the Ministry of Finance. Are you also going to take the lead from your leader, Jacob Zuma, and do likewise and also appear in front of the commission to tell us what you know?
It's unfortunate you seem not to be following what is happening. Maybe you are coming to the commission for the first time. If you have been following what is happening yet, that question was long answered, and as you are aware, I'm waiting for the date from the same commission about those allegations. So definitely that particular matter has been clarified. If you are not aware, that matter has been properly clarified.
Are you expecting former President Jacob Zuma to actually give testimony here, or do you suspect that we might be bogged down in process?
Because look, I'm not privy to the preparation of Comrade Zuma and his legal team preparations to appear here, so I'm not sure what will transpire.
I asked my organization, what have I done? And I got no answer. Maybe, Chair, having said what I've said, let me deal with my relationship with the Gupta family so that you don't suffer, you try to ask questions.
What are you doing? Spirit thing is what a joke. Huh? Spirit thing what a joke. Spirit thing what a joke. You think what a joke you?
Sir,
you think what a joke you?
Can we please?
Why must we go there? You have already stopped us there. Why?
Please.
Why can't we talk here? The media was here. Can't the media also ask Zondo, where is the regulation that says people in regalia cannot come inside, but people who are wearing things like Louis Vuitton or Gucci can go in? But us, we can't go in because we are wearing our party regalia. In a constitutional democracy where they say freedom of expression is guaranteed, freedom of association is guaranteed. We know we go to high court wearing like this and there's no problem. Why is the problem here?
Members of this family were brought to my residence in Oliver Tambo when I was the deputy president, where I saw them for the first time. They were coming from Mahlambandlovu, from President Mbeki. The person who introduced them was Iso Pahad. They were introduced as good business people, but they were also comrades, members of the ANC. And that's how some of my family members got to know them. The young man was still very young at the time, was there, saw them and introduced them. Having known that we have been trying to have business who are progressive, to establish a media sort of alternative voice of what is happening. I think even people who are ANC members had tried even to partner with other people. It had never worked. At that time, I was the president of the ANC. I then said to them, men, and making a suggestion, can you try a business, a media business? Because we are comrades, we need an alternative voice. There are many attempts that have been made before. I'm making this point because that relationship ended up, insofar as we are concerned, who want media that is progressive, helping to have this media that was able to report differently. That is an extent of the kind of friendship we had. I have been attacked, even when I'm coming here. Part of the reason we have more visitors today than any other time, because I'm here. Some people I know for a fact might know that I know things about them, and therefore they are not going to like me. But I've behaved for decades. I've not played around with intelligence information. I've lived with people who don't know I know about them, because that was not what I was trained for, to use intelligence wrongly or carelessly. If Zuma takes out remove Pravin Gordhan, would shut down the economy of this country, we must go and tell him. And indeed, Mbalula came to tell me. I said, but what he has to do with us? I didn't know that he's a member of the ANC to decide how the ANC must deal with these matters. What is his problem? I said, go back to him to say that's his problem. But he said, we'll shut down, we'll make the rand flat on the ground. I never thought I would be nasty to people. And I think I can be nasty. I've been over-provoked. People coming, saying things about me because I'm not going to revenge. The very fact that intelligence organizations, which today are key instruments to run countries, the war today is fought at intelligence level, no longer at the hard guns, etc. A worrying point is that one of our intelligence, which was still under the hands of the apartheid regime, conspired with two other intelligence organizations to do things in our country. What made Comrade Nwako to behave the way he did here, saying that I've auctioned the country, in the NEC I just do what I like? He's carrying out an instruction. They concoct everything just to deal with Zuma. I've resigned as asked by my National Executive Committee, and I'm staying there, far away. But even when I'm staying there, there is a plot to kill me.